to talk about redefining success and happiness. And Leighton, I know you're laughing, but the truth is the weird shit that runs through my mind, man, right? It's like when you're sweating, you're working out, you're sweating, you're just like, damn, all right, well, I'm sweaty. But then you realize like, shit, I'm also oily. And then you realize like, there's a lot of shit. And then there's like urine and poop that come. Like we really like discharge a lot of stuff. When you think about what a human is, we discharge a lot of stuff, fluids, oils. We're like a fucking broken down jalopy that's just always like leaking shit. But anyways, we're here because we're going to talk about redefining success and happiness. And I think that's an important thing to talk about because, well, as we're 14 classes in, by the time as we're filming this episode here of the Bedros Keuilian Show, we're 14 classes into the project. And what I've found as men have come through the project, hundreds of them so far, is that many of them, I would say over 80% of the men go, hey, I am successful. And then they go, but I'm depressed. I'm successful, but I'm anxious. I'm successful, but I'm alone. I'm successful, but I'm not happy. And I realized that, well, wait a minute, bro, you're not successful after all. It's like, oh, tell me how you're successful. And every single one of them undoubtedly tell me about the business that they have that generates a lot of money, that gives them financial security, but they don't have emotional security. They don't have a body that they're proud of, health that they believe in, a relationship that they can consider to be solid. And I'm like, fuck, man, we got to start redefining success and happiness in life because I don't know, I guess maybe this comes from the 40s when I think about it. As you look back, success was all about, especially coming out of the Great Depression and then going into the war, you know, people coming back from World War II. Success was really about like, can I make enough money to own a house? The American dream. I want to own a house with a picket fence, white picket fence, and I got my 2.3 kids and a dog and a wife. And, you know, we've all heard the term, keeping up with the Joneses. And then, you know, the Joneses live next to you. And so they have a nicer car and you have a nicer car. And so we all strive for more money. And listen, don't get me wrong. Money ain't bad. Money is really good. In fact, I often talk about make a lot of money and do a lot of good with it. But money alone does not make you successful. And that's why we need to address success and happiness because, truth be told, success and happiness are not the same, right? Like I knew a dude, we'll keep him nameless for this episode, but this dude was like, man, I'm making good money in my business, but I'm not happy. I can't sleep well because my mind's always swirling and thinking about what I have to do when I wake up tomorrow. I'm always operating out of this, he didn't say FUD, but I'm going to use FUD. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. That's what FUD stands for, right? Because, you know, he has this fear of the uncharted, unknown as an entrepreneur, right? You're going to unknown territory. And then he's got these doubts within and these limiting beliefs, and those things will keep a man or a woman awake at night. So while he was doing financially well, he was not happy. In fact, he was pretty miserable, and it bled into his relationship. And as we got to talking, I'm like, dude, what do you like to do? It's like, man, I would just love to work in a company like yours. It's like, wait, really? He goes, yeah, but I just feel like freedom comes from entrepreneurship. I'm like, nah, bro, freedom is just a byproduct of like a state of mind. Like you could literally make good money in a career and then tighten the belt and make some great investments in crypto and then rental properties and then, you know, in investments in other things like whether they're 401ks or they're annuities or life insurances that pay you back. And before you know it, you've amassed wealth over a decade. But at least you have a sense of happiness and you have peace of mind. And he's like, holy shit, I never thought of that. And so first I'm here to tell you that success and happiness could be two very different things, right? They're not the same. What I want to do is bring them together on this episode. And we're going to talk about that right now. And we're going to start at this place. I believe that you have to be physically jacked and financially stout. And that is the beginning of success, right? Because here's why. When I say physically jacked, that doesn't mean like, you know, like veins popping out and fucking abs bulging out. Like my buddy Mike O'Hearn, he's a walking anatomical chart and good for him, right? But it might mean being proud of yourself when you look at yourself naked in the fucking mirror, right? Then the money that you have makes you feel better, right? If I'm happy with the way I look naked in the mirror, then the money becomes the frosting on top, because I don't have to go, well, man, I'm rich, but I'm embarrassed to take off my shirt. I don't want people to see my love handles. I don't want people to feel a certain way when they see me with my shirt off. But if I can comfortably take my shirt off, know that I'm physically fit, mentally and emotionally stable, there's that component of success and happiness as well. Like, how often do we see people that might be fit, that might be financially well off, but they're a fucking mental and emotional disaster? You cannot tell me that person is successful and happy. And so what's it gonna take for you to get your mental, physical, and emotional hygiene in order so that you can start making more money, so that it will bleed into your relationship, and then you can be a person of greater income, impact, and influence? I think that is success. And guys, I want to share this with you because, again, you know, the idea of get jacked and make a lot of money kind of works. It's a simple mantra, but here's why I say get jacked and make a lot of money and you'll be fine. Anyone that is willing to work out hard consistently and eat right throughout the day to be jacked, that's automatic self-development. Like, there are a few things in life that have a byproduct of self-development without being a self-development course, right? Like, being an entrepreneur is the highest level of self-development. Like, there's no doubt about that. If you decide to start a business and be an entrepreneur that builds a business that is going to be profitable and has employees and has the day-to-day problems that businesses do, you will very quickly begin to develop great personal discipline. You will begin to learn a lot about yourself, your ability to take risks, your ability to make decisions, your ability to problem solve, your ability to lead, your ability to communicate. All those things are tested and improved if you decide to be an entrepreneur and compete in the free market, right? So certain things have a very high capacity for personal development and growth that have nothing to do with personal development and growth. One of those things is starting a business, right? Like starting your own personal business, not with someone, not having equity in a business where someone else does the work. Like, you starting a business from the ground up, you will meet the highest version of yourself, and you will also meet the ugliest version of yourself. Like, you will meet the person within that has doubt, that has fear, that has uncertainty, that has limiting beliefs. But the idea is that as you keep pushing through all of the things that entrepreneurship brings to you, that you become the higher level version of yourself. Well, the same thing goes for working out and getting jacked. I'm not talking about doing a 6-month sprint where I'm gonna work out hard and eat clean and then, do a show, but then I'm gonna be a fat, sloppy fuck after that. I'm talking about consistently maintaining a lean, athletic body, which tells society that you're eating right, you're managing your sleep and your stress and your rest, and you're working out pretty damn consistently. That person who goes to the gym and works out consistently, that person who is willing to do another repetition, another set, to go to that place in their head that they need to go to press that weight, to pull that weight, to take another step in the walking lunges, or to add that other mile that they need to, that person is developing at a very high rate of speed in terms of mental and emotional capacity. It's as simple as that. Like, physical fitness is one of the highest forms of personal development, just like entrepreneurship is one of the highest forms of personal development. And so when we talk about redefining success and happiness, like, how successful is someone or how happy is someone if they're making good money, but they're not sleeping well at night because they're afraid of the bottom falling out? They're afraid of making a bad decision and the competition taking over. They're afraid of losing a team member, an employee. Like, how does that make you successful or happy? Or what if you have all this money and you're scooting around in a private jet and you have all these cars, and good for you, and I have a lot of cars, and I have interestingly enough, I have a garage